Good morning, my dear students. Hi, everybody. Today we are going to discuss about the types of inheritance. So already in the previous sessions we have discussed different types of inheritances. Here inheritance is creating a new class from already existed class that you know. Here the inheritance concept is divided into 5 types. Okay, there are different types of inheritances. Among them, the first one is single inheritance, second one multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, multi-level inheritance, and hybrid inheritance. So the 4 inheritances concepts are completed, and next the last one is hybrid inheritance. It is also known as virtual inheritance, or it is also known as multi-path inheritance. So in single inheritance, that means one superclass is there, and after that one subclass. That means the child class is derived from only single base class or superclass. So this type of inheritance is called as single inheritance, and it is multiple inheritance. That means more than 2 or more base classes. So from 2 or more base classes, if you derive a new class, then so that type of inheritance is called as multiple inheritance. And hierarchical inheritance, here only one base class is there. So from the single base class, if you derive more than one child classes, that type of inheritance is called as multi hierarchical inheritance. And next, multi-level inheritance. That means so A is the superclass here, and from A class if you derive a B class, and from B class B is the child of A, but B is the parent of C is the child of B. So that's why this type of inheritance is called as multi-level inheritance. And the last one is hybrid inheritance or virtual inheritance. Now we are going to discuss about it. So here it is the A is the superclass. From A superclass we can derive more than one child classes. Here in this figure we have derived 2 child classes, B class and C class. So B is the child of A and C is the child of A. But from these 2 child classes we have derived D class. D is the child class of B and C. Now D has 2 parents, B and C. And B and C are the child classes of A. So A is the parent of B and C. And B and C are the parent of D. Here A from parent class A we have derived 2 new classes. That means this type of inheritance is called as hierarchical inheritance. And from B and C we have derived D class. This means multiple inheritance. That means in this type of inheritance we have 2 types of inheritance concepts are 2 types of concepts are there in this figure. Okay, now this type of inheritance is called as hybrid inheritance. That means it is the combination of more than one type of inheritance. That means 2 or more types of inheritances if there, so that type of inheritance is called as hybrid inheritance. Now we are going to discuss about, and I will execute it in the application. See here we have syntax for this. Suppose here, yes, here grandparent is there, parent 1, parent 2 and child class. That means here this is child of grandparent, this is child of parent 1, parent 2. Okay, so in the syntax form we are going to write like this. Class A is the superclass. So from class A we have deriving B class, and class A we are deriving B2 class. Okay, B1, B2, and next we are deriving C class from B1, B2. Okay, so syntax will be like this. Okay, now here one problem is there with the hybrid inheritance, because suppose A is there. So suppose A has X value, B has Y value, C has Z value. Okay, now D is accessing the members of B class and C class. D has rights to access the members of class A also. Okay, so now here two paths are there. One path is via B, another path is via C. D can access the values of A via B and via C, but here compiler confuses in which way the value will be accessed. The grandparent value can be accessed. So at that time we need to use the keyword virtual. So then there is no problem. So virtual keyword is useful to access the value from only one way if there are more than one way. Okay, so this type of inheritance sometimes is also called as multi-path inheritance. Okay, now I'm going to see. So now it is loading. So developer C++, bloodshed. So it's not. So now loading. Yes, see here. So hash include IO stream using namespace std. These two statements are common for every program. In every program we can write these two statements. And next here I have declared class A. But in class A, what is the member? Only int x is there, that is public member. Now the class A has x. And in the class B, I am going to declare. So here see, observe, virtual public A. A is the superclass, B is the child class. Now deriving B class from A. But what is the member of class B? Into y. In the same way, class C is deriving from A, so it has value public member int z. Okay, so class A has int x, class B has int y, class C has int z. So these two classes, C class, B class, are derived from class A. But now we are going to derive D class, but D class is deriving from B class and C class. D class has member that is int sum. Okay, sum is the member of class D. Okay, here int main function is there. Now I am creating the object of child class D. So small d is the object of class D. Okay, now d dot x is the member of class A. But even though member of class A, I am going to access the member of class A by using of object D. D dot x equals 10. I am supplying the value. D dot y equals to 20. D dot z equals to 30. So x, y, z are the members of the class A, class B, class C, vice versa, respectively. Okay. Now here, see out x equals to d dot x, y equals to d dot y, z equals to d dot z. In this here I am assigning the values, but here I am checking. So the values are stored or not, whether the values are stored or not. Here d dot sum is the member of the class D. D dot sum equals to d dot x, d dot y and d dot z. So here I am going to print the output for this. So I am summing up the values. Here the sum equals to d dot sum. If the result will be printed, so then this hybrid inheritance will be successful. Here I am going to compile. So it is compiling. Just observe. So compilation is succeeded. Okay. So total errors 0 and warnings 0. No problem at all. So now I am going to execute. So I am going to run it. Okay. Now we will get the result. Yes, x equals to 10, y equals to 20 and z equals to 30. So these are the values. that we have given. See, observe. So here d dot x, d dot y. Okay, see. So d dot x, x equals to 30, y equals to 20, z equals to 30. So these values are printed here. Okay, x equal to 20, x equal to 10, y equals to 20, z equals to 30. The sum equals to 60. So this we can get d dot sum 60. That means x value, y value, z value are the members of the parent classes, even though we can access those members by using the child class object to D. So this type of inheritance is called hybrid inheritance. But in hybrid inheritance, we can use virtual keyword because there are multi-paths are there. So then at that time we can use virtual. If you use virtual keyword, there is no problem at all with that. Any number of ways are there, any number of paths are available in that inheritance, there is no problem. Otherwise the compiler will confuse. Okay, thank you my dear students. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the group. Okay, thank you.